doing 100 through the beach. No stems, no seeds. Everybody put your shorty, you rolling the bleeds. You got to pass it to me. You doing 100 through the beach. No stems, no seeds. Everybody put your
Put your hands up. Everybody, come on. Put your hands up. Everybody, hey, together. Put your hands up.
High Tide Stick is an entertainment, cannabis, news, politics, music, and radio talk show on YouTube for 21 and up. So do what you've always done. Kick your siblings out of the room, throw on your headphones, and enjoy the show. You're listening to The Doc on High Tide Stick Radio. National Sellout Hip Hop Concert Tour, Ars Fest features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course Tampa and St. Pete. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof one night. So be there or be on Facebook watching it. You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook right now at BARZFEST Tampa. That's Ars Fest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956.
Over my head. Overdosing.
Right. Overdosing, I'm in over my head. I said what I should have said. I'm living, it should be dead. I'm coming, you should be scared. I'm coming and I was there. I'm coming, they can't compare. Where I'm going, they never there. I'm alone. All alone in the lane of my own. I'm alone. All alone in the lane of my own. I'm alone. All alone. I'm coming and I was there. I'm coming, they can't compare. Where I'm going, they never there. I'm alone. Overdosing, I'm in over my head. Taking blunts to the head. Coming, you should be scared. Be against the world, a food pocket with a Glock. Cause I don't wanna go before my time up on the clock. They say when you on the screen, everybody wanna watch. They say boy, you at the bottom, you'll never reach the top. Heavy hearted, my emotions got dropped. Maneuver with the movement, man, my motion won't stop. Cause it's money over everything. Maybe even you got a business on the side, man. Maybe you too. They all say they love me, but you know how bitches do. Niggas are falsified, and I just remain true. I said, damn. Scheming while getting scammed. My switch is getting rammed. I hate thinking about that bullshit. And the stress, working real hard without resting. OT till I OD. That's right. Overdosing, I'm in over my head. I said what I should have said. I'm living, it should be dead. I'm coming, you should be scared. I'm coming and I was there. I'm coming, they can't compare. Where I'm going, they never there. I'm alone. All alone in the lane of my own. I'm alone. All alone in the lane of my own. I'm alone. All alone. I'm coming and I was there. I'm coming, they can't compare. Where I'm going, they never there. I'm alone. And I ain't talking in the victim sense. Talking, I'm on a whole other level. This shit in my sense. Without my paper in my sense. I want it all. Nothing less. You smell success. That's in my sense. You fuck me once. I ain't forget no handkerchief for falling tears. On that fears, you telling stories. Disappear, went down and out. But now found when half the glory category. Bitch made that you know which and what's about it. And please don't ever doubt it. Fuck your help. I'm here without it. For real. Cause I done made it on my lonesome. With chip on shoulder, chips of soda, feeling like you owe some. Can't expect your intellect to see the real if no none. But how the hell you bite that hand that feeds you when there's no one? They gon' come and go, and I know that shit true. Take that picture of Van Gogh so you clearly see who the fuck I am. A giant from my point of view. From skyscraper view, what I do, see this cute. So I'm overdosing, I'm in over my head. I said what I should have said. I'm living, it should be dead. I'm coming, you should be scared. I'm coming and I was there. I'm coming, they can't compare. Where I'm going, they never there. I'm alone. All alone in the lane of my own. I'm alone, all alone. I'm alone, all alone. I'm coming in, almost there. I'm coming, they can't compare where I'm going. They never there. I'm alone.
High Tide Stick Radio reminds you not to do anything stupid on marijuana. You know, like get busted by your parents. You're listening to the doc live on YouTube.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name? Rose. Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Yeah, that's right. You're live on High Tide Stick Radio, live with the Doc MistaTre, coming to you from none other than the beautiful, the sexy, the gorgeous Florida. Oh yeah, gotta love it out here in sexy Florida. It is so nice today. I went out and kind of traveled, gotten some mischief today. Went to breakfast. Went to lunch, met up with some, I met a Iraq veteran who was suffering from PTSD and depression, and had a really lengthy conversation over lunch with him. So it's been a fun and productive day. Absolutely, just fun time. And like I said, I got to meet a really cool vet, which was cool, and I really enjoyed it. And he was an interesting fellow, actually. I mean, I definitely I feel bad for anybody who suffers from PTSD. Let me just tell you, that is a subject that I think that we absolutely do not have enough money invested in, and we absolutely do not spend or invest enough in the money for PTSD. I mean, like I said, just randomly met this guy today when I was out having lunch and out doing some errands and whatnot before the show, and he had PTSD. And he and I sat down and had a really intelligent conversation. He does not treat his PTSD with marijuana. He does not. He doesn't. He doesn't use marijuana. And I told him, I said, when we started talking, I explained to him, I said, listen, I am not a real doctor. That's just what they call me on my radio show, is the Doc MistaTre. I said, I'm not a real doctor, but I do know and have seen so many different people with issues just like PTSD and things just like that have really found ways to help themselves through PTSD. I mean, through marijuana and stuff like that. I told him, I said, again, you'll want to consult your medical professional. You'll want to find out if marijuana is really the thing that you want to use for yourself. But again, I want to be clear that I am not an actual real doctor. That is just my character or whatever for the radio. It's kind of just this name that was given to me because of something that happened. It's kind of just the way the first show went in marijuana radio. And so again, I'm not a real doctor, and I'm not the person that's going to be qualified to tell you whether you should or should not use marijuana as your medication. What I'm simply saying is like I told that guy, it's something that you may want to consider, and it's something that you may want to look into, and it's something that you may want to be part of, and it's something that you may want to attempt or try. And again, if it is, then that's something that you should definitely check out. On today's show, of course, we're going to be talking a little bit about PTSD and some of the other types of PTSD, because I think that there's been so much emphasis on battlefield PTSD that I think that we also have forgotten that the battlefield is not the only place where PTSD is. Also today, we have stoner sex, fantasy fulfillment, igniting the passion, and then of course dealing with abuse, and we're going to get into that today as well. And then of course we also have reports of stone driving is down in Colorado, and we're going to talk about that as well. But before we even move forward with that, we are going to get into our little segment here about PTSD and marijuana and its relation. And the funny thing is that this is a very taboo subject in the government. You know, like even VA doctors were not allowed to give you any advice. They were not allowed to give you any information around PTSD. They weren't allowed to advise you about PTSD. They weren't allowed to do any of that with the VA doctors. And now what's happened is, or what's changed is that VA doctors have now been given permission not to prescribe marijuana as a drug, but to give advisement on that, because the general consensus in Congress and in legislation is that if these guys are going to go ahead and they're going to treat PTSD with marijuana, then we want our doctors to at least be able to advise on that. And I think that that's critical. I think it's a very important point. I mean, the general use of cannabis for PTSD symptoms, and this, by the way, this information that I'm going to tell you guys comes from Veterans for Medical Marijuana.org, an organization geared towards getting legislation passed for PTSD and things like that. Here's the thing is there is a doctor and his name is Mikolham, is an Israeli scientist who identified THC as the psychoactive compound in marijuana. Decades later, he discovered the brain's had endocannabinoid system, which is endocannabinoid system is the processor system in which the brain and or i.e. your body absorbs cannabis. Like, for instance, in cannabis there's cannabinoids, and in your brain there's this receptor that's like hooked into your brain that has, for all of you by the way on YouTube and Periscope, you're getting a free kind of visual here while everybody else around the world's just listening, has to figure it out. But essentially you have this receptor in your brain, and the cannabinoid comes down, it's received by the receptor, and then it's given to the body. Well, like heroin as an example, it comes in and it just blocks this receptor, and again, it's not giving your body anything good, it's just blocking the receptor. And so the reason why I think that marijuana has become not only a drug for pain, but a solution for PTSD, a solution for anxiety, a solution for ADD, a solution for epileptic seizures, a solution for autism. I mean, so many different disorders and diagnoses that this drug has been available to use and available to consume, that has corrected the issue. And it's just a shame sometimes when I sit back and think, well, you know, we have soldiers that come back from wars, and this doesn't matter what country or state you're in, it does not matter. We have soldiers that come back from war, and these soldiers are war-torn soldiers. They're torn apart, and PTSD is what has really tore them apart. By the way, shout out to everybody viewing us on YouTube and out there in Periscope. Give us a shout out and tell us where you're at on Periscope, and we'll tell you where, and we'll give you a shout out on the show today. We get listeners from all over the country in the United States as well as all over the globe, and we love to give you a shout out. We love to know where our listeners are coming in from. So please, if you guys get a chance, let us know where you're coming from. If I miss it on the little pop-up chat screen on Periscope, just keep posting it. I'll see it eventually. I'm a little ADD. That's why I smoke pot. Come on. So let's see here. Oh, we got India in the house. Okay, so I remember Ali. Ali from India is in the house. We got, of course, Chris Watkins joining us, of course, on Periscope today for the discussion. So again, if you're just joining us, we're talking about PTSD and how PTSD can be a treatment for marijuana. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. I wasn't fully prepared to discuss this subject today. I have a plethora of information about it, but I wasn't fully prepared. My notes for today's show have nothing to do with PTSD, but I went out to lunch at a restaurant called O'Maddie's in Gulfport, Florida, out on the beach. I went out to lunch there, and I sat down next to the guy, and I'll give you his first name, but I'm not going to give you his last name, but I sat down next to a gentleman by the name of being, yes, I remember you, of course, Ali. Ali from India joining us on Periscope on the show today. And of course, so anyway, so I sat down to this guy, next to this guy named Nico, and Nico had, was talking to me about, that he had once considered getting into the marijuana industry, but was gun shy and a little afraid to invest his money because, and this came up just randomly. I didn't even let him know what I did for a living. I didn't let him know that I was in marijuana activism and marijuana radio, cannabis radio. I didn't let him know that. So he, so we got to talking, and I said, well, listen, here's the thing is I know I know every part of the marijuana industry because I've had the luxury of owning my own business and being invited into other people's businesses to learn how they do what they do and use that to benefit myself and make myself money. I.e., it's why I'm going to Michigan in the fall to go see Chris Watkins, because I'm going to learn how to do the biological, meshing of plants and all that. Because like I can clone, I can grow, I can do all that, but I want to learn how to like make what I want. And Chris is going to teach me that. So I'm going to be taking a week long vacation in the fall to Michigan just to go to school for a week and we're going to have some fun. Tissue culture. Thank you, Chris. By the way, it's tissue culturing is what Chris is going to teach me how to do with plants. And I think that that's amazing. I am beyond excited for this. I can't wait to book my plane ticket here in a couple more weeks so that I have a date set. And I'm just excited to go hang out with my buddy who has he's been with me since I was back on K-High as a listener. And then he's evolved into an actual expert who will call into the show and talk on the air with us all the time. And we love having Chris on the show. So anyway, so with that said, the federal government thankfully has allowed for doctors to at least give advice on PTSD. And I was explaining to Nico, was his name, by the way. The guy's name was Nico. Now, not Pirate Nico that you hear me talk about. Yes, Chris did drive all the way to Colorado just to go to a concert that he won tickets for. He wins tickets over the radio on my show, and he drives all the way from Michigan to Colorado to come to that concert. That was awesome. That's a true fan and and has become a very good friend of mine. I'm absolutely happy to say that. But anyway, so with the PTSD, guys, the thing is that there are several types of PTSD, by the way. I want to make it very clear that PTSD is not only PTSD for, war people or people who are returning from war, guys. PTSD affects, there's childhood PTSD. I have suffered from a form of childhood PTSD. There are dramatic events throughout one's life that can ignite PTSD, and I can promise you that it becomes very hard to deal with, depression. It becomes very a lot of people who have PTSD eventually end up becoming addicts or addicted to something super duper really icky nasty bad stuff. And the bottom line is that I always tell everybody that's not what you want for your life. That's not the kind of life that you want to lead. And so there are ways around becoming addicted to some very harmful and bad stuff. And I think that marijuana, in a sense of, if you're going to need something that's going to address the things that are related to PTSD, which is anxiety, depression, anger, irritability, a lack of patience to the degree that you can snap on a dime, you go into flashbacks and all kinds of other things. And a lot of these things, just like epileptic seizures in children, just like this issue and that issue, all these things can be curbed and all these things can be addressed, or all these things can be affected by simply having something outside of all these psychological medications. And I mean, again, I don't support Big Pharma, and I don't care for Big Pharma. I think Big Pharma's a joke because they give you a pill that gives you a bunch of side effects and then turns around and gives you a pill for the side effect that only has more side effects. And it just becomes this redundant and repetitive process that goes on and on and on, because these people continuously will get you hooked on drugs. And the worst part is that the government has been suckered into it, of course. By what way? What way has the government suckered into this by? It's very simple. The government has been suckered into this process by backing Big Pharma. Who do you think are some of the biggest lobbyists for harder penalties for drug offenses, even something as minute as marijuana? Who do you think it is? Oh, yes. Chris makes a valid point, by the way. I'm going to get to that point in a second, though, because I want to finish this statement, and that is who do you think has the most lobbyists out there for tougher crimes? You got Big Pharma, the privately owned prisons and builders and contractors, and you have politicians who can absolutely, for the last, I think other than the last election, for the last like 15 or 10 elections, no, like 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4 or 5, maybe 6 elections, every politician has gotten elected, even Bill Clinton, on the great Democratic hero who reversed the national debt. Even him, even the great Bill Clinton, all of them all of them at some point in time have waged a war on drugs. Now, Chris makes a good point though, and that's that some strains of marijuana are known to increase anxiety. Some strains of marijuana are known to increase the effects of PTSD or make you more likely to have an episode. And so this is why you really want to visit a bud tender who knows what the hell they're talking about and isn't going to give you something that's going to mess you up, because that is the worst thing that can happen is, oh yeah, let's give you some weed that makes you paranoid. And then the next thing you know, you're over here doing backflips and, you know, doing weird stuff and just stuff that you shouldn't be doing. We don't want that. We don't want that for you. I promise you, we don't want that. I guarantee you we don't want that for you. So as we continue our little journey through today, I just want to tell you guys that we got to go to break here in a second. When we get back from the break, I definitely want to get into the next subject. You're going to love this one, guys. It is, yes, absolutely. You need to have marijuana education. Chris chiming in on Periscope makes a very valid point. But anyway, we're going to go to break. When we come back from the break, we're going to talk about the report. We're going to go over a report, or I'm going to talk to you about a report I read that talks about how stone driving is down in Colorado. Not only that, after that, we're also going to get into stoner sex, the goods, the bads, and the uglies of stoner sex. You're, of course, listening to the Doc MistaTre on High Tide Stick Radio. High Tide Stick Radio reminds you not to do anything stupid on marijuana. You know, like get busted by your parents. You're listening to the Doc live on YouTube.
After a shooting in Michigan that killed one person and left another in the hospital, the neighborhood is closing over 2 lanes.
So I get high,
27-year-old Stomach injury. 27-year-old Caribbean Waters.
so I get my niggas won't change them all. Even if I get famous, I swear the music I make it, they feeling me now. I guess I got some type of history now, okay? A young nigga live in effect. Be silent, protecting my craft. Listen, divided riches with all of my niggas, and we're just working on math. Suddenly shit is just adding up, and I'm feeling bad shit. I can fuck the club. Passing the 2-seater, white bitch gon' blow me like a Reefer Franklin. I'm about money, Franklin. It's good conversation. He keep hating, I keep loud in rotation. Won't fuck with her. It keep too basic. My memory of yesterday is gone, and I'm sitting with these old thoughts. I'm hoping time really don't fly, and I take my last toes off. Won't even talk about you marking niggas who slow bought and I don't buy. Don't ask me if I'm fucking no chance. And I hit the blunt yesterday, and I asked it, thinking about the better days. Shit was classic. I pray to God just survive. Man, I wish I could fly. Man, I wish I could fly. So I get high. So I get high.
The second murder there this year, and here tonight we uncovered stats that show it's the most dangerous part of the city.
When he says head of walkers, been talking with the people who live there to find out why there is so much.
Look, yo, Aaron, what's going on? A lot, Jay, since you been gone. See my mom holding on. Don't need a gym to be strong. I won't lie, I've been drinking, and yes, I have been smoking more. I'm not really proud, it's that loud, it's hard to ignore. Thinking about the moments we had ran from the police. Lord, forgive my sins, I'm blessed for all that you have done for me. Like babies, they want to rock every cribbing, but in my sleep. Fuck whatever it is, you know that you can count on me. And my dog, hey, man, I ready been. You still rapping and put it on. When you deploy, pray that you making it back, cause we all need you back home. I miss all of my soldiers and all the soldiers who gone. And I ask myself, why this happened? Can I miss pain with this aspirin? Cause I hit the blunt yesterday, then I ashed it, thinking about the better days. Shit was classic. I pray to God just survive. Man, I wish I could fly. Man, I wish I could fly. So I get high. So I get high.
Neighbors say it's gotten worse because more kids are picking up guns. I don't understand why they want to give their lives away doing that, because when they get caught, they're going to prison, going to prison, going to prison.
The National Sellout Hip Hop Concert Tour, Ours. Ours Fest features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course, Tampa and St. Pete. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof, one night. So be there or be on Facebook watching it. You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook right now at BARZFEST Tampa. That's Ars Fest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956. High Tide Stick is an entertainment, cannabis, news, politics, music, and radio talk show on YouTube for 21 and up. So do what you've always done. Kick your siblings out of the room, throw on your headphones, and enjoy the show. You're listening to The Doc on High Tide Stick Radio.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Yeah, that's some crunk shit to come back, right there. Hold on, let's turn it back up. Yeah. All right, anybody listening or viewing on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff, if you can tell me what beat that's from. Actually, I won't even ask you what beat. If you can just tell me what group or artist that beat's from, I'm gonna have to figure out something good for you. I'm gonna remember you though. Here, one more time. If you think you know what that beat's from, though, inbox me. And I'll let you know for sure, like, if you're right and whatnot, because I'm not going to give away the answer right now. That just seems wrong. I can't do it. I can't give away the answer. So, anyway, during the break, you were listening to, of course, High Times by Blair Bassard. And, of course, to open the show, we had Mr. D's, I don't know why I'm like so driving a blanket, Overdosing featuring Be Easy. So anyway, no, it's not Lil Wayne. Everything is not Lil Wayne, Chris. Don't do that to me, Chris. Don't go straight to Lil Wayne for the answer. Don't do it. Come on, everybody, tell him, don't do it, Chris. Anyway, so now that we're back from break, so here's what's going on. There's a report out that says that driving in Colorado, driving high is down in Colorado. Now, of course, we all know that the federal government wants you to believe, undoubtedly, that everybody that's smoking pot is out driving drunk and getting hammered and doing all this bad stuff. But can I take you to church for a second? That's all I'm asking. Can I take you to church? Hold on.
This beat is so.
You know the song is it's Honest by Future. Look, can we be honest? I'm just honest. Hey, can we be honest? I just might start freestyling on it. Like, hey, be like, look. They trying to tell you weed is bad for you, but it's not honest. I promise they took the weed, but I promise we still gonna smoke it, boy. Fire the bombers from Michigan to India. Honest, I promise you, boy, I'ma blow trees for the death of me. I blew this shit right here in the U.S. and overseas. Boy, I'm telling you, I be up in your girls' ovaries. Boy, they can't see me. Big boy, I best believe, honest. They don't want none of this, honest. Boy, I'm too fucking fresh, honest. All right, I'm done playing, though. We can't be freestyling the whole damn show, all right? But I'm just saying, don't forget, boy, your boy been freestyling his whole life. Amen. Amen. But so, seriously, though, but let's be honest here. They want you to believe that pot drivers we're going to explode in Colorado that the minute that marijuana went legal. That's what they want you to believe. That's what they insisted. Oh, it's going to be, everybody's going to be smoking so much fucking Indo and driving fucking high, and everyone's going to fucking wreck and kill people, and da-da-da. No, more old people falling asleep at the wheel kill people than people stoned. More people having seizures or heart attacks, individually categorized, kill more people than people being stoned. Let's be honest. I mean, seriously, can we be honest? I just want to be honest. Just want to be honest. That's all. So let's bring in some facts here. Pot's been legal in Colorado for the past 2 years. Okay? Well, for 2 full years now. And indications as of now indicate exactly alcohol. I wasn't even going to say alcohol. One of the people in the chat room on Periscope, I think it was Chris, actually said alcohol. But let me be very clear about something. I wasn't even going to say alcohol because drunk drivers kill more people with vehicles than anyone else, any other way possible. And a lot of those categories are probably combined, if not all of those categories are combined. So they want you to believe that driving drunk is the same as driving high, and or that potheads are going to do it worse than alcoholics. No, because you don't make stupid decisions when you're stoned. You don't even make decisions when you're stoned. You're like, I'm fucking high, I don't care. Not driving. Don't want to go anywhere. See, that's the difference. See, when you get drunk, you do stupid shit. I mean, when I get drunk, I go sleep with people I shouldn't sleep with. When I get drunk, I go do shit that's just dumber than fucking shit. I can't even begin to explain to you how much dumb shit I've done drunk, or how many extra drugs that you shouldn't be doing I've done drunk. Let's be real. But I can tell you something that I do when I'm high. Fucking nothing. I'm like, fucking, I'm high. I ain't doing shit. They're like, you want to do something stupid? Nah. Too tired, too high, too stoned. Just want to play video games, veg out on the couch, eat munchies, maybe get some ass. Why don't you leave so I can call ass over? You know, I mean, that's being high. That's getting stoned. Seriously. So the Colorado Department of Transportation, by the way, and according to them for that matter, has said that the issue of stoned driving has in no way spiraled out of control statewide, since sales began back in 2014 across, pretty much statewide. It's actually been on a slight decline since the beginning of 2014. Last year, state troopers wrote 4,564 or 46, I'm sorry, citations to motorists driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Now that's combined. That's drugs and all alcohol, the whole 9 yards. However, of the 4,546, drum roll please, guess how many of those were stoned under the influence of marijuana? Of those offenders, 347 of them were busted operating a motor vehicle, ripped up, throwed off, pot. 347, less than 1%. Or no, yeah, that's still less than 1%. Less than 1%, because 1% would be what? Oh no, it's 10%. No. Yeah, that's 10%. I'm sorry, less than 10%. It's still phenomenal. Less than 10%. So, and a lot of these numbers, by the way, are being brought to you, of course, from an article that I read on High Times Magazine. Now, so the report does go on to show that 665 citations were issued in 2015, where marijuana was suspected to be part of the motorist inebriation one way or another. Now, see, the one thing that I think that we can miss too on is that if you get pulled over for drinking and driving and you reek of alcohol, and then they run your blood test, you're going to come up that you're fucking drunk, but you're also going to come up that you're stoned. Harley. And I'm assuming you're in New York because it's Harley Dude NY. So I'm assuming you're in New York. If you tell us what city you're at, we'll give you a shout out, bro. And thank you for the question, by the way. Harley giving us a question from Periscope, excuse me. And his question was how did he know that they were stoned? New York City. Oh, shout out to New York City. My dad went to school out in G-Dub. He lived in Flatbush, man. He went to high school out there in NYC. So anyway, shout out to New York City on with us. Shout out to India, of course. Michigan in the house. Again, if you guys drop in and tell us where you're at, we'll tell you where you're at. Tampa Bay in the house, of course, as always. The Bay Area out here. The Bay's always in the house with me. And then, of course, we got California, Arizona, North Carolina, so many other people that have stopped in and been in here, or I know they're watching or listening from another location like YouTube or something else. But anyway, so thank you all for listening, by the way. Just real quick, I'd like to give that real quick, that little, love y'all. But so to answer your question, by the way, Harley, how did they know that they were stoned? That's the question I've been asked. Well, actually, I can't answer your question. Here's why. When it comes to being stoned and driving, I cannot answer how the hell you can possibly know I'm stoned. And here's why. Within 2 hours of inebriation, even if you do a freaking dab hit, within about 2 hours of consumption, maybe 3 if you dab out, if you do what we call dab out. Hashtag dab gang, by the way. Dab gang, shout out to 2-Piece coming out to Bars Fest Tampa. But you can dab out. You can absolutely fucking dab out, but you're still going to be fine in like 2 or 3 hours. So after 2 or 3 hours, the medicine has run its course. So you are no longer stoned. But if I do a blood test or I do a piss test, you are going to come up as high right then and there. So, Harley, to answer your question, I can't answer it because the problem is that 27 days after I consume marijuana, I could piss and you're going to tell me that I'm high. Yes, exactly. You say this for a long time. Yeah, exactly. 28 days, 4 weeks, the exact amount of time it takes for your cannabinoid receptors in your brain to completely reset. It's not a coincidence, people. It's really not. And that's the part of this that drives me flipping bonkers, is because we continue to have these guys in the system, if you would, continue to, I guess, get us to believe that the pot is they get us to believe that the pot is the problem. But again, this is why I refuse piss test. As a matter of fact, somebody asked me that, I think it was yesterday, not on the show, but just in a conversation. As you know, I get around a lot and I speak to a lot of people and I meet a lot of people, and a lot of people tell me their stories and ask me a lot of questions regarding marijuana and the consumption, and more often than not, they're asking me grower questions and fertilizer questions and stuff like that. But a lot of the times I hear a lot of stories and I hear a lot of the people's problems out there. And to tell you the truth, I tell them all the time, they're like, well, how do you get around the piss test? I refuse it. I will not take your piss test. And if I have to take a piss test to work for you, then I don't want to work for you. And here's why. Because I think that is a gross and negligent in violation of my personal and private life. You're absolutely right, Harley. Too many people believe in the government. And here's the thing is, and this is why on the show I wanted to talk about Bernie Sanders as a candidate, because and by the way, I want to be very clear, I'm not endorsing Mr. Sanders. I'm not endorsing any candidate. I have not made my decision. And the last time I voted, I was not on the radio in a position where politics came into play. And so I voiced my opinion quite often about who I was voting for. And in 2008, I voiced my opinion. And in 2000 and so on and so on and so on back. But this year, I don't know if I'm going to voice my opinion, because I feel like it's your job to do the research. And I do not feel like it is my job to tell you who you should vote for. I think that any good patriot, any good U.S. citizen, any good just red-blooded American should be doing their own research on these candidates and figuring out whose plan can be accomplished and sticks to the doctrine called your life. Quote that shit. I'm going to go Van Wilder on you with this one. Write that down. Write that down, because that's how I feel. I am truly a Democrat. And I don't mean the party. I mean democracy. I believe that it is your choice to find the people who believe what you believe and empower them to make changes so that the country is the way you want it. Mr. Sanders, I do agree with his view, with the senator's view on marijuana. I absolutely agree with Mr. Sanders' view on marijuana. However, I'm not going to sit there and say that I agree that we need to, open the floodgates on pot either, though. I'm not going to go that far yet. I'm not going to say that we should, I'm not going to say that, that we should just say, here we go. But I do think that it needs to be removed from the Schedule 1 drug list and Schedule 2 drug list because they say that it has no medicinal values. That's absolutely untrue. See, first step is admit you're wrong in your line and remove it from the Scheduled 1 list, which means it is highly addictive and has no use or medical value. Well, we've proven long and many a times over and over again that that's not true, that it absolutely has medical value, that it absolutely helps people. It absolutely has done wonders for children with epilepsy on the cannabinoid side of it. And again, it is absolutely something that drives me bonkers on the flip side of the coin is because, yes, actually, Harley just dropped the right word. Thank you. Research. The research has been done. And guys, listen, I will put my name behind things when I think that they're right, legit, and honest, okay? I will all day long because I believe that if what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And I also believe that it doesn't take an idiot to figure that out. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And the bottom line is that I know what's right and I know what I think should be done. And if we're not doing that, then that's a problem for me. That's an issue for me. Because we should be doing the right thing. We have a job to do the right thing. Excuse me. And so, and again, you know, we let the government wage war on us and tell us that it was a war on drugs. And I just think that that was beyond irresponsible. I think that that was beyond arrogant. And I think that we caused ourselves some problems there. And I think that young America's paying the price now. I know you guys don't see that, but young America's paying the price now, guys. And it's bad because they're the ones going to prison for 10 and 15 years for stupid drug stuff. I didn't see your post, by the way, the last one that went up. Please, if you want, repost it. I try to look over. But guys, these are legit problems. These are real. We're going to be right back after the break. You're on High Tide Stick with the Doc, live on YouTube, Periscope, across the nation and the globe. High Tide Stick Radio reminds you not to do anything stupid on marijuana. You know, like get busted by your parents. You're listening to the Doc live on YouTube. You're listening to me, the Doc MistaTre, on YouTube live. Yeah, I'm a real doctor, like Dr. Phil's a real doctor, only bald. Wait a minute, he's bald. Only sexy. Yeah, sexier. Live with the Doc on YouTube, Monday through Friday on High Tide Stick Radio.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name?
Rose.
Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
Two behind, do a bit, that gang. Yeah.
Once I started, stayed on my grind. Yeah. MistaTre told me don't waste no time. Smoking big dope, shit smell like crime. I drive a foreign and the wheels look fine. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my time. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. A couple hundred just to watch my time. Since I was young, I was young. Nickels and dollars and nuggets. Ever since they ride me, trusting my leave, I was blessed. Smoking like a zombie. Two game my I'm nothing. Dice in my G got me. On my niggas, busting stars. I started, stayed on my grind. MistaTre told me don't waste no time. Smoking big dope, shit smell like pine. I drive a foreign and the wheels look fine. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my time. Niggas boring, his flow is not like mine. A couple hundred just to watch my time.
Hey, my hood said get you, so fuck you. You, your dead homies, and your pills. I'm from Gainesville. We don't talk, we get you. The bullets out this bitch sounding like a Russian missile. I've been a real nigga, I just never lie. And I be on in Houston, Texas, like I'm rap a lot. Use a cartoon character, Facebook dog, need a Grammy, you an actor. Push the ball, me with no ammo in the gun. I got a top on the way and 100-round drum. The difference between me and you haters is I'm winning. The label left a nigga, I bounce back in the penthouse.
Once I started, stayed on my grind. Nigga grit told me don't waste no time. Smoking big dope shit, smell like pine. I drive a foreign and the wheels look fine. Nigga boring, his flow is not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my time. Nigga boring, his flow is not like mine. A couple hundred just to watch my time.
Hey, I'm in the studio, grinding with no pen or pad. They gave a white nigga money, now you at his man. Said my belly was on E, I can feel the hunger. If the go broke, I turn your block into a fucking song. I left the West Coast to bring back my street cred. I don't know how niggas eating when the streets dead. I know where bees live when they think I don't. And I leave a nigga stinking. You think I won't? Expose me to the world, make 2 P's famous. But you won't rubbing my money, I'ma sell them payments. I don't owe nobody nothing that ain't on me. You want a feature, you charging a fuck nigga fee.
Once I started, stayed on my grind. Nigga grit told me don't waste no time. Smoking big dope shit, smell like pine. I drive a foreign and the wheels look fine. Nigga boring, his flow is not like mine. Couple hundred just to watch my time. Nigga boring, his flow is not like mine. A couple hundred just to watch my time.
High Tide Stick is an entertainment, cannabis, news, politics, music, and radio talk show on YouTube for 21 and up. So do what you've always done. Kick your siblings out of the room, throw on your headphones, and enjoy the show. You're listening to The Doc on High Tide Stick Radio. National Sellout Hip Hop Concert Tour, Ours. Ours Fest features dope artists from Los Angeles, Long Beach, Phoenix, Colorado Springs, Gainesville, Florida, Houston, Dallas, Denver, and of course, Tampa and St. Pete. Come kick it as all of them collide under one roof, one night. So be there or be on Facebook watching it. You can keep up with the concert as it approaches, as well as interact with artists and promoters on Facebook right now at BARZFEST Tampa. That's Ars Fest Tampa. If you're looking to perform or need ticket info and more, call area code 727-318-2956. That's area code 727-318-2956. We're listening to me, the Doc MistaTre, on YouTube Live. Yeah, I'm a real doctor, like Dr. Phil's a real doctor, only bald. Wait a minute, he's bald. Only sexy. Yeah, sexier. Live with the Doc on YouTube, Monday through Friday on High Tide Stick Radio.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name? Rose. Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
That's right. Just the two of us, baby. Me and Mary Jane. Building a castle in the Florida skies. Love it. Shout out to all my viewers, all y'all out there on Periscope. Love the hearts, all that stuff that you guys do. That's cool. Dig it. Keep letting us know, if you're just joining us, let us know where you're listening from or watching from. Send us in the chat message. Email us, hightidestick@gmail.com. Or just, of course, shoot us a text message on the studio phone, 727-318-2956. And let us know where you're listening from, and we'll give you a shout out on the show, or we'll give you a shout out on the show tomorrow if we can't get you on the show today. Either way, I just want to thank all of y'all, by the way, listening on Periscope at The Real MistaTre, on YouTube under High Tide Stick Radio, and of course, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all those things. MistaTre for me, personal, if you want to follow me. And of course, the radio station, you can always follow the radio station High Tide Stick anywhere across the globe. We are the only one with that brand trademark, and of course, copywritten by Trezona LLC Entertainment. Now that we got the bills out of the way and the law out of the way, let's get back to work. So,
in this last segment, you know I like to talk about that freaky dicky. You know I like to talk about that freaky dicky sex. You know what I'm saying? You know I like to talk about getting it in. I love it. It's kind of my thing. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, you're back on High Tide Stick Radio, live with the Doc, MistaTre, hashtag it, LIVE, with the Doc, MistaTre. Follow us everywhere across the globe. Like I said, let us know where you're listening to. We got people listening in Ohio, in Pittsburgh, and let's see, Phoenix, Puerto Rico, Jamaica. Love you guys down in Jamaica, let's just say. I'm not biased. But I love Jamaican. I love the Jamaican. Jamaican me happy, man. Let me tell you, you're Jamaican me happy. So anyway, so let's get into this whole sex and weed thing, okay? It's legit. Who doesn't like a little booty? Who doesn't like a little sex? I mean, let's be honest, right? So there are a lot of different topics for sex, okay? You know, what kind of weed should I smoke if I'm gonna have sex? What kind of weed should I smoke if I'm just gonna go out and get dome? I mean, there's a lot of topics to sex. There's I'm thinking about doing a threesome with me and my, a girl says me and my boyfriend are thinking about doing a threesome. What's the best weed to have a threesome on? So it's one of those things where I go, there's a lot to this, and there's a lot to sex and weed, and there's different weeds. Like, for instance, if you're gonna do a threesome, if it's you and your mate's first threesome, it's gonna be a little nervous, right? Now listen, here's the thing is, I'll go pick up two chicks that don't know each other and me, and we're gonna get buck wild and have a crazy night, and I will never once be nervous because I don't know these two, and I only got 6 words to say to you in the morning. Can I call you a cab? Yeah, 6. That's it. So I don't know you. I'll call both of you a cab. Hi, bye. We had fun. Y'all two was wild. End of story. Gone. But when you really like somebody, or it's your mate, and you're going to introduce somebody else to the relationship, just have a threesome, it can get a little nerve-wracking. So you need some weed that's going to calm you down. But here's the thing is, you can't get you like a good indica that's going to euphoric. You can't do that. No. Because you're going to get too high and you're going to pass out. And if you pass out on her, you're not getting it for a minute. If she passed out on him, it's probably going to start a fight. So it's one of those things where when it comes to weed, you got to pick the right weed. So the love doctor, the Doc MistaTre, the love doctor, I want to go ahead and recommend this for you. I'm going to recommend that you go with something that's probably like a 20-80, 70-30 sativa indica. So, and the reason why is you want 70 sativa, 30 indica is because the 70 is going to be like that, more awake and you're alert to what's going on, but you have that calm and relaxed euphoric feel of the indica, so that you don't get too worked up. Indicas tend to give you almost like that euphoric feeling of alcohol. It's not that like I don't give a fuck feeling like alcohol gives you, but it's more like a carefree feeling. You're just like, hey man, it's cool, bro. Feeling good. Feeling good. Feeling good. Good. So, and that's what it really comes down to is what's the kind of euphoric feeling that you're trying to have? What kind of feeling are you trying to get out of it? And again, I want people to remember that you have to pick the right weed. If you go wrong and you pick the wrong weed, you're done. You pick the wrong weed and you might be freaking out that you're having sex. This is true. You pick the wrong weed and you might be like, oh my God, we're having sex. Shit. What the hell? I can't have sex. What do you mean we're having sex? I'm freaking out, man. Probably not going to be the guy. I'm just going to be real with you. It's probably going to be the girl. But hey, listen, that's what I'm saying, though. So you got to be careful. You don't want to be those like, oh my God. I don't know what to do. No. You get your 70-30. You're awake. You're alert. If things aren't going the way you want them to go, you get the fuck out of there. You're not too fucked up that you're fucking like, you know, someone trying to give you the old sneaker feel you don't want, all that crazy. No. 70-30 is what the doc MistaTre recommends. So also another one was that it said that this comment that I read said that there was what? Oh, that poor woman. She says that we just have quickies and then we get it over with. So, okay, so for the quickie problem, I'm gonna recommend probably we need to tone up we need to tone down the indica and we need to tone up the sativa. I'm gonna go 90-10 for this issue. I'm gonna go 90-10 for this issue. That's what I think I'm gonna run with. 90-10. Hmm. 90-10. Yeah, 90-10, guys. Because here's the thing is, it sounds to me like, A, he's probably getting off too quick. And I can't help him with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't have that problem. Like, you know, shout out to all my guys out there. Because I really don't have that problem. So I honestly have no clue what that's like. I don't know what it's like to get off quick like that. Like I enjoy, you know, I dive in and lay in that shit for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I wrap myself up in a blanket like, I'm here to stay and have some good sex. Good sex for a minute. Good sex. That's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like really, legitly. So that's, you know, kind of my stand on that one right there is that we you know, while we're answering these sex questions for people or sex comments and whatnot about what to do, so it's definitely like I said again, there's different strands, there's different reasons, there's different, you know, what you're getting yourself into and what kind of weed you're getting yourself into is gonna matter. And I mean, people have tried to argue this point with me for a long time, and I always say you can't argue this, you can't argue it with me, and you can't argue this, because at the end of the day, the bottom line is that when it comes to sex and weed, different, like I said, again, different sex requires the weed. Like, hey, look, man, if she wants you to throw it in the backside, I'm just saying, you might want to smoke with her or something. It's a painkiller. I don't know. Oh my God, here we go. Chris Watkins, where are you? Butt sex is being talked about again on the show. Oh shit. So, but seriously though, you know, again, the first issue again was that or not the first issue, I'm sorry, but the last issue was it had to do with, you know, the quick, all, you know, the quickies, the quick sex. That's all, you know, he gets off too quick. They don't have the long lasting sex. And it's not good. It's not that it's bad sex. It's just, it doesn't last sex. I have to post this question. Like, what do I give my man so it's not a quickie? So anyway, so yeah, so that's kind of the gist of it right there. Is that that's what you want to do. We are, we've gotten to the end of the show. I'm going to stay online and continue. For those of you on Periscope, you can stay with me. If you want to continue the conversation with the chat room, I'm more than happy to do that for a little while after the show. But, of course, you've been on High Tide. Stick with the Doc, MistaTre. I'm going to get out of here for today. We love you. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Don't forget, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we broadcast from 9 a.m. on the East Coast till 10. You've been on High Tide. Stick with the Doc. Peace. We love you.
I'm the doctor, by the way. What's your name? Rose. Nice to meet you, Rose. Run for your life.
I need a stoner bitch. I need a stoner bitch. I need a stoner bitch, baby, looking just like you. And if you like to get high, well, then just like you. Never cry, you only sad when the sad is gone. I got a pound in the bar, so go back the ball. Fuck the goat, fuck the bottle, fuck the dope, you get the bottle. I can get me back over the back tag of marijuana. We'll be together forever, that's what she promised me. Only breaking up we do is when we breaking up the beat. And please believe, stupid the black. She's the type of girl that likes to smoke and sip all night. She's the love of my life and my soul, the business blind day. She's better than a blonde babe and better than Beyonce. Ass up, man, you can see it from the front. And she's so damn sexy how she blacks the blood. My stolen bitch is like a dream to me, she beats so fine. I gotta make this little fly, stolen bitch all mine. I need a stoner bitch. Something that for a girl, got a nice face. Yeah, students in the slip, that's race. Something that for a girl, they get it again, with the sake of the something that for a girl, who can be a so I can do it with the place in the hair. I'm gonna stay with this moment. I don't want the pop up in the last moment. Still for love. Look, Jack, like she just look at me. Baby, stone, but the bad of the road for the weed. That head tight, good. She's the road of the shit. She's a queen. And I'm popping out the feeds for the good and the sex in between. The hits and the pussy life bouncing off the road. Getting me high with the cheeks. Fucking so thinking raises in some face. Listen, no packages. Since I'm the finest from the boots and the race. And I put that on circle like a motherfucking right. You dead, you was harsh, you my brother's fucking white. So, not details about the head. What she would do is like little shit that I'm like, having my joint rolled and ready to yeah. Rolling down the back loaded, now it's time to smoke. I'm talking about the soul bitch, the bitch ain't a joke. Let's get it straight from that everything you call a bitch. It's like the lights come on and off, I gotta do a switch. I got a fire lady, brother, it's a 6 play up on the couch, I mean, to get the game time. I'm showing her ladies that fuck, but she likes to fuck. Like Simon Wilson when I'm digging deep inside her guts. No macaroni and cheese, she'll make the store. If we out of leave, then she's out the door to make a score. She be the love of my life, she got to ride. I stole a bit of niggas, so they be my soul to ride. I need a stoner bitch. Something that for a girl, got a nice face. Big ass titties in a slim ass waist. Something that for a girl, who be no they get it again, with the same. Something that for a girl, who can be a freaking girl. Sucker good, with the legs behind the head. But we got more stolen bitch, moments out of blood. The top of the last moments, good for a girl. I need a stoner bitch. I need a stoner bitch. We go on classes, you know, she got
looking at my pound, but you got me downtown. Look at the style, pushing on the smoke with the spouse. You got to watch it, look around the pedal on the couch. Coming up to the top of it, unless you want to smoke. Every couple running girls, watch the things in the door. Some girls are taking cherries, then a tie with the gun. My girl a roller, never run, smoke until it's done. This is in the kitchen with some chili chicken. You take a ball, here's a lemon with your baby. Cause I'm a stoner, bitch, stoner, Jesus, and I'm a loving stoner, bitch, just like you, like you, like you.
That's my favorite song.
I need a stoner